What's up YouTube, it's Jason from Westwood Bonsai, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to repot your bonsai. Let's get started. Alright, so let's get into the video. I've panned the camera down so you guys can see my hands a bit more, so you can see what I'm doing and see things up a little bit closer. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is running through with you what you're going to need when you're repotting your bonsai. So obviously your bonsai, in this case I'm using a small sapling that I've grown for a while now, and I've recently just taken the wire off him, so it's got some really nice movement. So I'm going to be using that. Your pot, this is a homemade pot that I made just from a cement mix that I'm going to be using. Then you're going to be needing your tool to loosen your soil. Then you're going to be needing a short piece of wire and your drainage mesh that goes into your pot, which I will demonstrate to you now, your root trimmers, and your new soil, obviously, as well as your watering. So to start off, the first thing that you're going to want to do is prepare your pot. So this is where the drainage mesh and wire comes in. So you're going to want to take your mesh and place it over your drainage hole. Bend your wire in a specific way that it can go through the drainage mesh as well as the drainage hole. You're going to be bending it, hopefully you guys can see that, in an N shape. So when you place it in, it goes through the drainage holes, through the drainage mesh and the drainage holes. Then on the other side, you're just going to be pushing them outwards like that. And that will secure your drainage mesh into your pot. Super simple, N shape, stab it through, and yep, there's your pot already prepared. Okay, and then the next thing that you're going to do is put a small amount of your soil at the base of your bonsai pot. So in this case, I'm using this soil here. I'm just going to sprinkle just a fine amount over the bottom of the pot. So this is so that the bonsai, once its roots are exposed, does have soil to sit onto and to grow into as well. And it's not just sitting on the bare pot itself. So yeah, put your rocks in there. And then you can set that aside, and then we're going to be moving on to your actual bonsai. So in my case, a little sapling, but obviously this applies with all types of bonsais, all shapes and sizes. So the first thing you're going to be doing is taking it out of its pot. This guy's probably been in this little pot, I would say, for about 8 months now, and I feel like he's gotten to the right size where I can put him in a bigger bonsai pot. I'm very happy with his progress and his size, so I've decided it's time. So be very careful when it comes to taking the bonsai out of its old pot. You don't want to damage any of those roots, so use your bonsai loosening tool to slowly take it out of the pot, just like that. Perfect. You can set that aside. Right, and now this is where your little tool is going to become in handy again as well. You're going to use this to slowly poke away the soil. Slowly, just very lightly loosening the soil around the bonsai roots. This is very important as you're going to be putting new soil in there as well, and also so you can expose the roots so you can trim them back slightly. So just slowly work your way around, go underneath the clump, and you see it was time for him to be repotted because you can see how the roots have started to go around and started to travel in a circle around the base of my old pot. So it was definitely time for this guy to be repotted. So you just slowly work your way around, taking all of the old sand off the roots, exposing all of the roots just like this. Right, the next step that you're going to be doing is very, very important. The next step that you're going to be doing is trimming the roots of your bonsai. This is very important because it promotes growth within your bonsai roots. Similar to your leaves, where if you trim your leaves, it promotes new growth. And it's the same principle within your roots. So now you're going to be taking, oh, the pot fell, it's okay. You're going to be taking your root trimmers and just slightly trimming the feeder roots that are there. Working your way around just like that. Don't take a huge amount off, but just enough that it promotes the growth. Make sure to make your way around the ball of roots as to get growth in all directions. Now there's something that I'm sure you guys noticed this book over here, and this is a really nice book that I got gifted from a friend of mine, and I want to be showing you guys a small demonstration in this book and just some research that I found. And it's got a really nice illustration of what your roots should be looking like prior and before you have trimmed it. So in this really beautiful picture over here, you can see this is how our roots looked before. They were really long and had lots of length on them as well. So basically what we've just done is we've trimmed them. We've trimmed them so the root base is more of a round shape like this, so that there will be a promotion of growth all the way around the root ball. So just like that. I thought it was a really beautiful book and I wanted to show you guys that. So I hope you liked that. Right, then the next thing that you're going to be doing is taking your pot, move that aside, we don't need that anymore. Taking your pot, and now you're going to be looking at positioning your bonsai. Right, something very important when it comes to positioning your bonsai is to make sure that you're not positioning your bonsai in the middle of your pot, as that is not very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Bonsai is an art, kind of like a painting. You want it to be aesthetic, you want it to look and be like, wow, that's beautiful. So an off-centered bonsai in its pot is definitely the way to do that. So you're going to find a place for your bonsai, definitely off-centered, not right in the middle, and start to pour your new bonsai soil in, making sure you're going all the way around the roots and making sure that there are no more roots that are exposed. You want all of that now to be inside of the soil. Right. Then you're going to be using your tool, whether it's your root or your soil loosening tool or a new one. I like to use one with both. And you're going to start poking the soil. Now what this does is it takes all of the air bubbles, all of the air gaps that are inside your soil that you've just planted in. This is very important, because if you don't take out the air bubbles, the air gaps that are within the soil, what can tend to happen is the roots that are in that air bubble will get exposed to the air and end up drying out, which can damage a portion of your plant and possibly killing it. So doing this with your tool to poke out the air, to make sure you're compacting the soil the right amount, is very, very important. Right, just like that. And just like that, you have planted yourself your very own bonsai. Okay, he's a bit wobbly in here. The pot is quite shallow, but in essence the principles are there. And before you know it, your bonsai is going to be in his very own new pot. Now make sure it's very, very important that you are watering your bonsai very well after he has been repotted, as those roots will have dried out a small amount while being outside of its original soil. Now your bonsai plant can be out of its original soil for some time, so don't rush, don't panic, but make sure that you are well watering afterwards. So I'm sure you've seen my other videos. I'm a firm believer in a spray bottle. Spray the top, take a watering can, and water it enough that water will start coming out the bottom of the bonsai pot, out of those drainage holes. This is very important because then it shows that water has gone through all of the soil and has reached all of the roots as well. And there you go, guys. I'm really glad that, I really hope that you guys liked the video. Let me angle this up so you guys can see me. There we go. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video today, and I hope that you learned something new. Please don't forget to comment down below if you guys have any follow-up questions to the video that I've just showed you guys. I hope that you've learned something new, and as always, keep growing, guys. I'll see you in the next one.